Welcome to the Virgo channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is Laura. I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. God, it's been so long since I've done a live. Life has been really busy, and we tend to always make excuses on why, you know, "Oh, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow," and then tomorrow actually never comes. And then finally I just said, I have to find time to jump on because I've had so many wonderful people make comments on my videos, and I really appreciate the support. Now, if you're new to the channel, know that this channel is also a shadow healing channel. So I do look at what goes on the surface, but I also like to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, to see how your situation is playing out karmically. This will help you to see your situation from a different perception, which a lot of times is very healing. All right. Now, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you have to, number one, be open to getting a shadow reading. Number two, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Three, and again, you'll know if I chose you if you wrote the word in your comment bar. That's the other thing you need to do. The word in the video is always how I like to open up my videos. It's how spirit tells me where to start. So let's see. Let's see what the word of the video is. Okay, needy. So you're going to write the word needy in your comment bar, and you'll know if I chose you if I wrote the word winner underneath. If I did, could correspond a little teeny bit on YouTube, just enough to let you know that you're the winner and that you need to reach out to me on through my email so that we can figure out the best day and time that works for the both of us. And so that I'll have your email address so I can send you the link the day of your reading or the day before your reading, a few days before your reading, just so that you get it. Because a lot of times when I post it, people can't find it. So it's just to make sure that it's really easy for you to, get your free reading. And understand, being that this is a shadow healing channel, well, it's not uncommon for people to have anxiety or have people not trust themselves on this channel, like to come and view this channel. And the reason why is because spiritual blocks are emotional and psychological. And that energy is held in body as stress. It what makes us a magnet for those same energies to come into our life. Well, those energies are also channeled out through our behaviorisms and our habits, and this is actually what blocks us from getting from having the life experience that we want to experience. So when we see needy, obviously is coming from a lower vibration. So I feel like you're connected with someone that's actually extremely codependent, um, and they don't come across as codependent. And so I'm feeling like you're in separation from this person because they actually are needy. They expected you to act a certain way. They wanted you to act a certain way. I feel like this person even emotionally manipulated you to try to get you to give them more. See, people that are needy, they are always coming from a place of lack. So believe that your person has had nothing but bad relationships. They have only had bad relationships because, again, they're needy. And people that are needy, they're coming from they feel like they're missing something. They feel like there's something wrong with them. Now, I do feel like they excel in certain areas of their life, like business. But when it comes to relationships, no, they're not emotionally intelligent because that's what needy is. Um, and so, like I said, this is the underlining energy to your reading. So we're going to see why I'm feeling that energy and what your person's their hidden truths are. Because just because a person plays a lot of games to try to manipulate you doesn't mean that they don't have feelings. What it means is that they're wounded. So we want to look at the hidden truths, what they really feel, and what they plan on doing, and then why you even attracted a person like this into to your life. Because worst case scenario is you're connected to a soulmate that that needs a lot of healing. So you can't be with them, right? But they teach you something. They came into your life to show you something about yourself. And if you integrate that spiritual lesson, you will actually transcend the limitation of your situation. Now, does that mean that this person will then run back into your life and be the person you wish they would be? No. What it means is that you will attract that person that you perceive to want, someone that has the character traits that are missing from this person. That's how you integrate the spiritual lesson. You actually get to see a different outcome to your situation. Now, it could also mean that you put the energy into yourself and you become yourself. You decide you don't even want a relationship, that you give yourself the unconditional love that you hope that this person could. Now, understand, needy, this person can't give you emotionally anything because they're coming from a place of lack. So, this is why we want to look at hidden truths. Because we're walking around in a society today that is wounded. People date people that hurt them. We're born into families a lot of times that we didn't get what we needed. It's not a blame game, but understand the situations and experiences that we go through are what creates the shadow. And this person has shadows of needy, so they have behaviorisms that are in alignment. I wish I could take back my words. Yeah, I told you, they tried to emotionally manipulate you by being like, they acted like they didn't care. They acted like, I feel like because they have nothing but bad relationships, that they dealt with you through the filter of their they saw the relationships through distorted perceptions, through their filters, right? When you go they're in a relationship and you have people hurt you and you don't do that healing, well, what happens is you project, and this person projected a lot of their shit onto you. So if you were like, well, I don't even know what the problem is, I can tell that you have feelings for me, but you treat me like crap. Well, that's why, because of their bad past relationships, which is why they're needy. They feel like I really can't be in a relationship. The reason why, after a while, is people close down their hearts. I wonder if you're happy without me. See, now they're in regret because I feel like, when you have unconditional love for someone, soulmate, twin flame, past life karmic, there is unconditional love there. It transcends time and space. There's a lot of passion there. Why is that? Well, because the universe brings you two together to look at each other. If the person was ugly and you didn't care, you'd be like, I don't care. I don't care what you're telling me about myself. I don't care what you do. But when we're really hot for a person and we really have that soul connection, they do something to us. It makes us look at them. It makes us look at ourselves. It makes us definitely change. The problem with this person is they've been in so many bad relationships, they've overcompensated. So they're not coming from their true sense of self. Like I said, they're needy. They feel like they need something outside of themselves. So that what happens is they go into a relationship, they overgive without really, they're driven by passion, not real emotion. But this, what they're realizing is that they have emotion for you. I think that they felt like they weren't going to have emotion. This person is being made to feel like, look at their actions. And how do we heal? We have to do that. The timing just wasn't right for us. I feel like the timing wasn't right for them because they just weren't ready. But I feel like when a person doesn't want to take full responsibility, it's like they make excuses and they try and downplay like what they've done. And there's so if they know down deep inside is what I feel like. They'll say, oh, well, we just weren't ready. And in a way, they weren't because of their bad relationships. And this situation was actually making them do the healing. However, they didn't know that. So that doesn't count, in my opinion. You don't know how hard it was to let you go. I feel like they would, again, needy. So what it was is that they were attached to somebody else that they didn't really want to be with. It's like they gave somebody too much time, too much energy, and it could be family. It doesn't even need to be a karmic mate. It could be anything that, again, when we give too much of ourselves because we don't have a good sense of self, and maybe we get our emotional fulfillment through actually giving to our friends and our family, but over time it becomes expected by those people. And now we're giving so much of ourselves that we become dependent. And that's what happened with your person. They became dependent on people in their life. And then here you come along and they have this real connection and they project onto you what everybody else is doing to them. Everyone else is controlling them, and that keeps happening to them, by the way. They keep reliving these situations where they keep giving all their power away. But then you're like, but I don't do that. Why are they doing it to me? Because you're giving them unconditional love, and there's a sense that they don't believe that they're lovable. Again, that's why they're needy. So that you think, well, they're needy, they should accept my love. No, it's a psychological reversal. This person that has shadow. So they get in their own way. And this is how they're getting in their own way. They're not happy. They're not happy with this because you know how hard it was to let you go. It was that they're still thinking about it. They're like, are you happy without me? They're thinking about you. They may physically be somewhere else, but they're with you. Their mind and their heart is with you. And let me tell you something, everybody knows it because everybody knows when a person's there and not there, when they're checked out. And I feel like that pisses them off because it's like, that karmic, if they're connected to a karmic, and this is a collective reading, so some may be connected to that. If it's parents, it could be, I'm annoyed that you care so much about this person that I don't want you to give your time to. It could be, again, a boss. It could be anything. We become needy and codependent on anything or anyone. So again, what makes people heal and change? Love, unconditional love. This person didn't want to all of a sudden evolve. It's scary to evolve. It's scary to change. Healing doesn't feel good. I wish I could share my good news with you. They can, but there's a sense of, I don't really know how you're going to take this. Again, they're needy. They don't feel good. They've been rejected. How do people become needy? They get emotionally manipulated a lot of times to feel guilted and shame. So there's a sense, again, of still looking at you like you're going to act like everyone else does. So the problem is, in the beginning, they came across very cocky. That was the shadow. That was the persona. That's why they lashed out at you. But now it's like they bobbed from having a big ego to being really insecure. So it can really kind of be a little annoying because it's like, well, I try to tell you, and then you have an attitude, and then it's this. So, but that's the lack, the defensiveness. That's the wound. One more just from this deck. I can't stop thinking about you. Okay, so this is just proof that this is their true intention. So I don't give a fuck what they're showing because their persona is definitely going to show that they don't care, just so that you know, because they're needy. So they're not going to come from a place of lack. Again, the mask will never do that. But I like to look at some of the spiritual cards. And really, I should look and see again 3 more from this deck. But I want to look at the spiritual cards because we want to know what type of relationship this is. What is the spiritual meaning for this? What are we supposed to be learning from this? Because the universe brings us the people and the situations and the experiences to change our mind and our heart to heal. We wouldn't heal. So we know that this person is being forced to change, stop being codependent, try and find themselves. I'll come back for you. All right. I always like to make sure like confirmation on top of confirmation, obstacles. Yeah, that's what I said. The people around them are putting those obstacles in the way because they're like, this person, they're not as easily manipulated. They were very easily manipulated when they didn't have love, when they didn't have like a light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like your person is not coming back to you or talking to you too, because A, they don't want everyone to know what they're going to do. B, because they would get in their way and emotionally manipulate them. See, at least they know themselves. But also, um, like they don't really know how fast. So there's just a sense like that it doesn't matter. Everybody still knows because they can feel that they are checked out. And so because they're checked out, everyone's watching them. And so, they're putting obstacles in their way because, hey, like, I don't want to lose what I'm using you for. Remember, they're needy. But the problem is when a person's needy, they're usually needy on somebody that takes a lot and is then able to emotionally manipulate them, which is what happened here. But now, I would call those people karmic, the karmic situation, because there's a lesson for your person to learn. But really, the people in their environment are learning too, because they're like, we thought we, had this person. We thought we could control this person. And when they really thought that they had them. So they're really like kind of frustrated. And can you imagine the psychic tension there? Like everybody's thinking, but nobody's talking and everybody's feeling shit. So I feel like your person's like majorly paranoid because they're like sneaking and thinking. It's kind of funny. I feel like I can be my true self around you. Yeah, because look who they're around. They're around people that want to control them. And so, like I said, they're paranoid. Like, I know what you're thinking. When you know, but you can't say anything. Well, that's kind of the energy there. Rapid repetitious cycles. So again, this will help them break that repetitious cycle. See, this is why those people in their environment got a little cocky. It's like, we've done this 1,000 times. Yeah, it happens that eventually everything settles down. The person gives up on whoever they like. Hey, but they weren't banking on that they were going to meet a twin flame. They weren't, that's a different type of relationship. That means that your person was ready to step into their divine counterpart because they were staying in a place of limitation and disempowerment for too long that it was starting to hurt them. And the divine didn't like it. Spirit didn't like it. The universe didn't like it, which is the same thing as God. And so understand there's karmic consequences for those people that were keeping your person, in a place of disempowerment for their own gain, their own greed. I'm done playing games. Of course they are, because listen, they've been played on. It's like that's what it took. I feel like your person trusted the wrong people. And so in that, they were easily emotionally manipulated. Now, you might be like, so why did I attract this person? Well, we're going to get to that. And we're also going to understand that sometimes you've also gone through that experience yourself. And you can recognize it because Spirit would say, well, I actually need someone that's going to give this person a little compassion. Remember, bringing you into the higher states of consciousness, because forgiveness, because this person, it's not like they didn't have feelings for you. It was hard for them to let you go. They were emotionally manipulated. They felt bad. And so, but there was love there. It's not denying. You are in your old patterns, but can't see it. So I feel like you feel as if they are in their old patterns, but they're not in their old patterns. They're making changes. You just don't see it. Because a lot with your person, they strategize. They're not psychic. They're not intuitive. They're not spiritual. They came from a very limited consciousness, which is, they made a lot of money. They're good in business. I mean, why else would everybody want to have a piece of them? Why else do they have such bad relationships? Because they deal with everything logically and analytically. So I feel like your person, like you'll see them also, like they're making progress, but it's very slow, and it's also like where they'll make progress and then they get triggered, and that's part of the healing process. because they're fighting their environment. Our environment creates our reality. That's what really creates the behaviorisms. And so they're all unconscious. So this person has to recondition themselves, and they wouldn't do this on their own. See, the universe again brought them you to help them do that. We have to say, what the hell are you getting? Need that this for? Well, spirit may say you need to learn patience. So that's why you got snail mail. You got a snail like coming your way where you're like, what is it like? Couldn't go any slower. Where spirit says we don't judge the process. It's again the unconditional love of this person. It means that you're going to get triggered, but guess what? At the end of the day, that you still have love for the person, and that's what it's about. To always go back and learn what unconditional love is. It's like I don't like this, but I love this person, and so spirit says. So then you compromise and you learn to integrate, and they learn to integrate. So they again speed it up a little bit. You learn again how to be a little bit more patient. It's compromise, it's balance, it's learning balance. And what a soulmate twin flames? They come into our lives to heal us, to teach us what? Again, what unconditional love is by depicting that character, even when it's not deserved. This person is not like it wasn't really deserved. There's still love there. It's just, like I said, they're wounded. I don't feel deserving, and it's affecting my levels of abundance and openness. Again, that's what I was saying about them bobbing back and forth, that they were going to bob back and forth, because that's what healing is. It's almost like when you see a toddler learn how to walk. But love, the unconditional love, is really at the end of the day what makes it happen. I'll contact you when I'm able to. Right now, my life is too complicated to bring you into it. Know that I do want to talk to you. And that's what I was saying about like the people in their environment are like manipulating them. So they're like not saying anything, doing everything on the sneak, doing everything on the down low, but they're strategizing in their head. The issue is that everybody is watching them and everybody knows. It's like a psychic thing where no one's talking, but everybody knows what's going on. And they know because your person is there, but they're not there emotionally. And that's scaring the people in that, again, are used to being able to manipulate. I'm realizing this connection is something special and worth treasuring. Again, but this person, again, that's unconditional love. That's what's making them change. That's what's making them do different. So we see that, again, that they're real spiritual energies here. What we are experiencing is a part of larger collective clearing. Again, clearing those spiritual blocks. Don't feel alone because I'm feeling and the same healing. Okay? It's like, again, the mirrors. This is why spirit has brought this person into your life. So this is this type of relationship. But we can say, okay, what are you supposed to learn? Because it's not just about, okay, well, this person realizes that they were letting everybody manipulate them and they were coming from a lower state of consciousness. But you have to say, again, the universe always makes sure that everybody learns, everybody heals. I'm looking for my inner child deck. Inner child deck. Here. Because shadows come from our inner child a lot of times. So we have to ask ourselves, like, why? What am I supposed to learn from this connection? Sometimes you learn a gift. Sometimes you learn your gift. You find your gift. And sometimes it's a spiritual lesson. Not all the time are inner child wounds. Sometimes they're hidden parts of our talents that we've never found. And so this person comes into our life and, being that they're not there, we have a love affair in ourselves. We give the energy to ourselves and we find that part of ourselves. Discipline. So again, not having this person really in your life, I would say that's true. Like it's learning how to discipline yourself, putting the energy towards growing yourself, towards building your business, towards like being consistent within your own needs. I feel like you grew up in an environment that you kind of had to raise yourself. So, and your parents didn't have the best lifestyle habits. And I don't think any of them did back in the 80s, right? I mean, let's face it, in the 70s and 80s, people weren't as health conscious. They smoked and they drank while they were pregnant. They did a lot of things, so I feel like, it's not a blame game. We just inherit the behaviorisms from our family. So we could be like, well, I'll get to it tomorrow. So this person not being in your life made you again put the energy into yourself because you wanted to advance within your career, I feel like, or within a talent, something within your something that was considered a passion within your life. What else? Innocence. I feel like before this person, you also did never had a relationship like this deep before, right? So there was a real awakening to the depth of this type of connection. And the reason why is because this person triggered you a lot. They triggered you a lot because, again, they let other people control them. However, you didn't really know that in the beginning. And by them not giving you, it made you feel as if, well, why aren't you being fair to me? Why are you projecting your shit onto me? You didn't know that they were projecting all their trauma onto you, but you knew that they were, accusing you and treating you badly and you weren't deserving of it. So that again, when we have such a deep love for someone and there's a lot of passion, and then they do something like that to us, they kind of rob our innocence. And so I feel like that was part of it, to be to learn that, not your soulmate twin flame, just because there is that passion and everything, that they're also a real person, and that, but unconditional love, having that for a person, there is a sense of innocence too, because we will always see the best parts of that person, and we can't help it but not to abandon ourselves, to be disciplined enough with ourselves to stay on our own track and not lose ourselves in, this situation where, you have such a deep, passionate relationship and this person wasn't giving you anything. You could have really lost yourself in that emotionally, but you didn't. And one last one is neglect. The trauma that you experienced was that, and that's what this is. This person, like I said, was not there. They didn't give you, even though there was love there. So what does that bring us back to? Well, our parents or our caregivers, our friends, the people that we perceive that were supposed to be there for us but then weren't. So that's the trauma. But then spirit says, but what happened? You put the energy into yourself, and you disciplined yourself, and in that, really, I feel like there is an innocence to that too, because what happens is that the kingdom of heaven is inside of you, right? And it's that means your imagination and what you create and your passions and everything that you want to like express and experience in your life. And so what happens is that you're able to experience more of those things when you invest in yourself, when you're creating yourself, because it's an actual unfoldment process. And so that helps you see things also from a different perception. And I'm actually feeling like because you actually did that, you really or made this person love you even more because you're showing them how to be. I always also like to ask one last thing. I always like to ask the universe, well, what other energy can we pull into this? Because shadow readings are Listen, they're all about awareness of your blocks, again, and the spiritual traumas that created your blocks, and then what you need to fully do to integrate the spiritual lesson. What we see here is that you did do that. You were like, I was neglected. This person didn't give me anything. They kind of robbed me of that innocence that I thought that this soulmate twin flame relationship was going to be this perfect one. But I wound up putting the energy into myself. I disciplined myself, even though it didn't feel good. And healing doesn't feel good because it's like we have to reparent ourselves because you were neglected. So, and neglected again could be just emotionally didn't get what you needed. And we see how this person, again, from this connection with you, it's making them change. It's a process. It's a process. So we ask spirit, all right, obviously, if it's a soulmate twin flame relationship, we can say we don't want to be with that person because it's a pain in the ass. It's a hard relationship. I'm not going to lie, but we kind of always fall prey to being like, well, fuck it. It's like I can't help it. Might even say we see the red flags, but it doesn't need to be like it's. There's many different ways a situation can play out. What you choose to do is really going to be what determines that karma. And what we see here is if you would have stayed, this person wouldn't have changed. They would have, again, always fallen prey to the people in their environment. You left, you put the energy into yourself. That's why this person is like, well, I'm not really happy with these people. I'm really starting to look and see how these people were, how they played me. So, what the energy, I guess, I'd say for both you and your person together. What else would Spirit want us to know? In God's hands, isn't that? It's like, which is what, a divine connection is. It's like my trust in life is implicit in God's greater knowing and greater love guides my heart and my choices. My faith is steady and I remain true to my light. Everything unfolds according to God's will. So again, that's twin flame soulmate relationship. You're attracting someone that is totally opposite than you. A lot of times, though they have the same wounds as you and they can relate to you, but it means that they've gone through very similar experiences, but they have gifts where you don't have gifts. You actually have blocked shadows there, and vice versa. So this is a divine connection where Spirit's saying, I've brought you two together. That's why it's in God's hands. You may think that you can control it, but you can't, because you can't control who you fall in love with, even if you want to. And it's about like letting your heart guide your choices. And that means to be in unconditional love by loving yourself first. But if you love yourself first, you'll be able to love this person fully without expectations, without ownership, in a balanced relationship. Because I feel like past relationships, like I said, we definitely know that your person is always codependent because of that. And you could fall prey to being codependent because you were neglected in the past. So coming from a place of lack. But I feel like since you disciplined yourself and you put the energy into yourself, you're actually the person that's going to be like, should be leading the relationship and leading it by example, not by telling this person what to do, but continually like growing yourself, creating yourself, and not focus so much on the relationship because this person's still healing. You still can be triggered by this. Soulmate twin flame relationships are hard because you're dealing with two people that have those wounds, and your person's going to trigger those wounds and vice versa to bring them to the surface. But there's unconditional love that you have for this person and vice versa. And because they're so different, their approach to life is different, their gifts are different, they actually help you. And you learn to integrate those higher spiritual things that you need to learn, such as forgiveness, compassion, courage and such and such. And that's why God's saying this is a divine connection. So we're going to leave that there. If you resonated with this video, let me know by giving me a like, give me a shout out. I love it when you guys do. Also, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, do not forget to write that word needy in your comment bar. And if you're interested in shadow readings or shadow healings, I should say, like you're someone that's looking to do shadow healing work, you definitely want to check out my subscriptions because I include inner child work, shadow healing, reparenting, and all the healing modalities to heal the effects of trauma, which would be breath work, meditation, EFT, and the list goes on. Because when we're in a relationship with a narcissist, or if we're in a relationship with someone that has affected us, the chances of it happening again are great if we don't integrate those spiritual lessons that that person showed us in our past relationship. So you can heal your life, but you have to do the work. And so I made it really easy for $7.99 a month. So you definitely want to check that out. All right, guys, I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.